Thank you for attending my critical book review on Limbo, Blue Collar Roots, and White Collar Dreams by Alfred Lubrano. I'm Bob Colling, and this is a presentation for my PS 4003 TC4 class with Dr. T, Arkansas Tech University. The challenge of moving vertically in career pathways is always ever present in a modern society. The social economic landscape is evolving. The new cultural constructs are becoming more defined by a steady shift in educational and working class distinctions. While in the past, most were born to a social economic class and remained for the entire span of their lives, today a new class hierarchy is beginning to emerge among the college-educated and the working class of America. This paradigm shift of class distinction is well developed and illustrated by Alfred Lubrano, a journalist and author of Limbo, Blue Collar Roots, and White Collar Dreams. In this book, Lubrano draws parallels to the challenges blue-collar individuals face when aspiring to rise to a higher economic class through education and college. Straddlers are those who move from a blue-collar culture to a white-collar class environment. Lubrano goes on to define those who have ideas of a better life as straddlers. Individuals attempting to find a balance between old family feelings of obligation and the aspirations of a brighter college degree and middle class white collar profession. Growing up in a working middle class blue collar family, Alfred Lubrano shares his youth on the streets of Brooklyn, New York. Although he had many friends, he discovered early on his interests were more academic than those who preferred fixing cars, running the streets, or chasing construction jobs. Somehow, Alfred knew, after watching his father work as a brick mason all of his life, using his intellect to make a living was more appealing. His father would encourage Alfred's education and would say, "Son, I have a shovel in the garage waiting for you if you change your mind." The decision to pursue education was not easy. The blue-collar cultural expectation was for men to labor, work, and sweat out a living, get a wife, have kids, go to church on Sunday, and make a living for the family. It was the manly thing to do. School and college were for sissies. Aspiring to academic life in this social environment, Lubrano points out, was an invitation for ridicule and estrangement from family and friends. Over time, Alfred realized he'd have to distance himself from his peers to break away from the working class inertia of the borough. Throughout the book, Lubrano employs anecdotal stories and examples of others facing similar challenges with family, friends, and loved ones. While those who struggle to forge a path of personal upward mobility, cultural bias, family obligation, financial support, guilt, and oppressive influence of parents or siblings could become crucial factors to overcome. When considering ties to blue-collar roots and family relationships, many examples provided by the book address some form of conflict. Lubrano draws our attention to the self-defeating blue-collar baggage we carry in deeply rooted behaviors and ideas from our childhood and adolescent cultural conditioning. While some blue-collar mental presets provide the tools to survive the traditional terrain, other preconceptions hinder our ability to blend in with our new middle-class peer groups. As the individual examples exhibit variations of the overarching theme to gain a college education, the stories are compelling and rich with elements of personal desire and determination to succeed and break away from the heavy weight of a working class existence. The body of the stories and reflections analyze the dynamics of interactions of blue-collar and white-collar social groups and family structures, leading the reader to draw insightful conclusions. Blue-collar families are more authoritarian and instill rigid rules of family conduct and behavior, with a diligent work ethos requirement to earn respect and build common bonds. While these are worthy aspirations and fundamental building blocks to a successful working class life, the white-collar middle class relativistic approach is guided by the focus on family collaboration, communication, and cooperation to achieve common goals. Finding reconciliation and balance between these two worlds, explains Lubrano, is an attempt to contort opposing value systems in almost impossible ways. This is a trap between both worlds, a limbo zone for those who try to please both classes but never provide enough of whatever group feels is most important. For straddlers, the sense of obligation and loyalty to old friends and family can become a crucial impediment to addressing emotional ties to the past. Lubrano provides a question from Lorene Finley regarding obligations to others. And he says, what do I owe others, and what do I owe myself? Unfortunately, even if done the best way available, at times this frustrating perception can have a significant effect on the reality of feeling unaccomplished and incomplete in our relationships. A misplaced dedication to the past rather than facing value in the future relationships is a crucial misconception for finding improved grounding in a new middle-class lifestyle. The future success and pathway will most likely be found through building new alliances, among others, with cultural capital, and as Lubrano points out, who you know are strategic complements to an aspiring white-collar lifestyle and career. The tone of Lubrano's work is inspirational and informative, covering both worlds of blue-collar workers and white-collar middle class. While the associations and narratives are taken from isolated individual first-person events of those working their way into a professional career, the book exhibits a negative bias of blue-collar class culture toward middle-class lifestyles. The majority of the animus is directed from blue-collar cultures to those wanting to leave the blue-collar class for the middle class. The middle-class individuals and their relationship and attitudes toward the working-class culture are relatively indifferent. When considering the perspective of second and third generation middle class toward the blue-collar working class, most likely they are the investors, risk takers, managers, and directors of organizations providing jobs to the blue-collar working class. Lubrano considers the tension between the blue-collar student and the genesis of self-serving attitudes and views of young middle-class college students, with every need provided and no real understanding of how parents generate a substantial middle-class income. As a result of their family's success, these dependent middle-class youth are raised with a mindset of expectation and privilege of living a lifestyle without consideration of others. Many of these self-centered, hedonistic, or consumer-driven students and graduates who have yet to hold a job or earn a living with their education will eventually develop a healthy level of cultural maturity. As Ed Haldeman puts it, some employers seek out workers with white-collar educations and blue-collar backgrounds and avoid those middle-class applicants who have low motivation or have never had to struggle for success. In conclusion, as a straddler with a long history of self-employment and providing jobs to the blue-collar working class, I found Lubrano accurate, insightful, and informative. His stories and explanations are very relatable and relevant to the cross-currents experienced by those working through the maze of cultural challenges so well illustrated in this book. The best catalyst for success and learning to succeed is accepting the potential of setbacks and understanding the resistance while overcoming the problems ahead. This is a good body of real accounts of real people striving to reach personal goals and sharing their frustrations, trials, disappointments, and accomplishments in the face of difficult circumstances on the road to a bright new future. So, this book is reference to Lubrano, Blue Collar Roots, White Collar Dreams, from Hoboken, New Jersey, a Wiley publication. Thank you for attending this presentation.